the Secretariat administer the oath. You have a choice between the Quran, the Bible, and affirmation. I, Justin Muturi, do hereby swear to testify on all matters in question and tell this committee the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Thank you, Honorable Justin Muturi. There are a few preliminaries that will guide you to furnish the committee. Clearance from ESCC, certificate of good conduct from DCI. I'll also ask a question whether you are a dual citizen of Kenya and any other sovereign. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the members. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before this committee. I wish to confirm that I am only a citizen of Kenya. Excellent. The Deputy Speaker may ask you one or two other questions before we come to... Okay. I'm advised we go to introductions first. I'm the Speaker of the National Assembly, your successor in title, Moses Wetangula. I'll ask all the members to introduce themselves to the nominee, starting with the Majority Leader.
Kimani Ichung'wah, MP Kikuyu.
My name is Opiyo Wandayi, MP Ugunja.
Ahmed, MP Suna East.
Owen Baya, MP Kilifi North.
Robert Mbui, MP Kadhiani.
Rehab Mukami, County MP Nyeri.
Ferdinand Kevin Wanyonyi, Member of Parliament, Kwanza, Trans Nzoia County, Republic of Kenya.
George Gitonga Murugara, Member Tharaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Kosing, you know Pokot 1, MP Pokot South, member of this committee.
Abdul Rahim Daud, MP for North Imenti, Meru County.
Honorable Mishimboko, MP Likoni, a member of this committee.
Nelson Arab Koech, MP Belgut.
Thank you, Chair. Caleb Amisi, MP Sabot.
Dido Raso, MP Saku.
Abdi Shurie, MP Balambala.
Mary Mase, MP Teso South.
Stephen Mule, MP Matungulu, a member of this committee.
David Gikaria, Nakuru Town is constituency.
Naisula Lesuda, MP Samburu West constituency.
But not least, Deputy Speaker.
Gladys Boss, member for Wasingishu County, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Thank you.
I'll invite the clerk to introduce the support team to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Sarah Kyoko, the acting clerk of the National Assembly, and with me is the Deputy Director, Legal Services, and other staff from the various directorates who are supporting this committee. Thank you.
The Honorable Justin Muturi, welcome to the committee. We are going to have a process. The committee will ask you questions. We expect cogent, clear answers. We have asked ourselves as the committee
not to engage in parochial issues, but to ask questions pertinent to and relevant to the office to which you have been nominated. So far, we have done very well with the previous nominee. All questions are asked through the speaker and the chair, and answers are channeled the same way, so that we limit any altercations between the nominee and the members of the committee. Before we start, we'll give you 5 to 10 minutes to make an opening statement to the committee in a manner you feel necessary. If you don't wish to, you can exercise that option. We are going to limit ourselves to that time, 90 minutes. So the manner in which we ask and answer questions must be within the context of the time available. And we want to encourage you, as a former colleague, to feel free and answer questions freely without fear or favor. So I'll give you the up to 10 minutes opportunity to make any statement you wish to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to introduce myself to the members of this committee and to the country. The statement you've requested of me, I suppose, is one about my private life, about when and where I was born. Perhaps it would be necessary for the membership to know where it is that I was born and brought up. I was born and brought up in Embu, approximately 66 years ago, in a village called Kanyuambora, at Teko Primary School, known by the same name. After which I joined Kangaroo School in Embu for my secondary school education from Form 1 to Form 6. From there, in 1978, I joined the University of Nairobi for a law degree, where I completed and graduated in 1981. Thereafter, joined the Kenya School of Law, while at the same time undertaking pupillage with the law firm of GBM Karaoke at one point, and Ramesh Sharma at another, for the 1 year that I was at the law school. Thereafter, I was appointed at a district magistrate, class 2, and posted to Bungoma Law Courts, where I served for approximately 4 years, serving in various courts within Bungoma district as it then was, as well as serving in Busia Law Courts. Later, in 1986, I was transferred to Githunguri Law Courts at a position of resident magistrate. In Githunguri, I served for exactly 365 days, after which I was transferred to Thika Law Courts, where I served for about 3 years and 5 months. And while in Thika, I was dealing, just like all the other courts, with both criminal and civil litigation, and also did administrative work, overseeing the courts within Thika sub-districts, including Kandara, Gatundu, and Yatta in Machakos. In the month of April 1990, I was then transferred to Machakos Law Courts, where again I served for approximately 3.5 years. And while at Machakos Law Courts, I oversaw the administration of the judiciary, both in the then Machakos district and which govern the current day Makueni County, as well as Kitui County. Thereafter, specifically on the 27th of September 1993, I was transferred to Nairobi Law Courts, and in Nairobi Law Courts I served mainly in the criminal division, and it was at Nairobi Law Courts where I left the judiciary when the bag of politics beat me, and I joined politics. From then on, in my first attempt in 1997, I did not succeed, but due to some unfortunate situation that happened, our Member of Parliament then died, and there was a by-election in 1999. I vied again and won. I served from 1999 up to 2002. Again, there was a general election. I vied, defended the seats, and I won. Came back to Parliament between 2003 and 2007. During that time, I also served as the chairperson of the Public Investments Committee and also as the opposition chief whip. In 2007, I lost the seat and briefly went into personal private matters, but actively engaging in the constitutional review process that was then that had begun in the year 2000 and continued until the time of promulgation of the new constitution on August 27th, 2010. Also at that time, I served as the chairperson of the Center for Multi-Party Democracy, which was intensely engaged in the process of constitutional review, and did a number of matters, including the decision to go and seek a Supreme Court interpretation on the realization of the two-thirds gender rule then in the Constitution, and the Supreme Court did give an advisory that suggested that the principle would be realized through progressive mechanisms that the state would undertake. In 2013, I vied for the position of Speaker of the National Assembly, and the members graciously elected me on the 28th of March 2013, and continuing to serve both as Speaker and as is provided for in Article 127 of the Constitution as the Chairman or Chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission. We continued, and in 2017, after the general election, I again vied for the position of Speaker, and again the members graciously elected me to continue as Speaker on the 31st of August 2017, a position that I held until the first sitting of the 13th Parliament on the 8th of September, when I relinquished that position, and the position was, I believe, appropriately given by the members through election to yourself, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Muturi, have you ever been adversely associated with practices that depict bias, favoritism, or nepotism in the discharge of your public duties?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Would you tell the committee your financial net worth?
Mr. Chairman, I've been a very modest public servant, and my net worth is currently estimated at just about 700 million.
What are your current and anticipated sources of income?
Currently, from my activities as a farmer and through consultancies that I do from time to time, do get occasional rewards. Otherwise, I am now a pensioner, a retired speaker, and I expect that I should be governed, whatever the public offers should be governed by the Deputy President and Designated State Officers Act of 2015.
Thank you. We will now open the conversation, and the first to go will be the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable J.B. Muturi, as the Attorney General, you're going to be the principal legal advisor of the government. As you know from the past, the Attorney General or the government has lost very many major cases, one of them being the World Duty Free case, the Kotek mining case, among others. So, and including many other cases against the government, including the President. How will you ensure that you deliver judicial wins for the government, or also ensuring that the government is not in an awkward situation of having flaunted the law and ending up in court? Thank you.
And we want to carry on as we take 4 at a time. Then you take another money.
As to, you know, under the previous regime, there has what was seemingly an abuse of the justice system for political reasons. I don't know what you intend to do now as government's chief legal advisor to ensure that the criminal justice system is not used by government, the government that you'll be serving in, for political ends. 2, in relation to what the Honorable Shalay has asked you, it's indeed true that government has lost a number of cases in court, and tied to that is a question of pending bills. Close to 1 trillion shillings of adverse court judgments against government. What will be your immediate dues in terms of probably being able to renegotiate or negotiate with other litigants against government to help government to bring down this huge cost of pending bills in terms of court judgments?
Thank you. Wandai, the Honorable.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chairman. The Honorable Muturi, I've got 2 quick questions. One, it is a matter of public notoriety that while serving in Nairobi station, you were once charged with a criminal offense, even though we know you were eventually acquitted. Perhaps what would interest us as a committee is, firstly, the prosecution did appeal the acquittal. We are not too sure what became of the appeal. If you could perhaps enlighten us. But secondly, could you also let us understand whether you went through the Ringera vetting of 2 or 3? And if you did so, why were you not reinstated to the judiciary? 2, you know, the progressive forces have over the years fought very, very consistently towards widening the democratic space. And this struggle has cost people a lot of things, including lives. As if this committee or the House eventually confirms you to this position that you've been nominated, you will be the principal advisor to the government. And some of the areas or the issues you'll be advising the government on include matters of human rights, democracy, and so on and so forth. I have noted that you've been adversely mentioned in a book which I've just finished reading. That is Stronger Than Faith, My Journey in the Quest for Justice in Repressive Kenya, by one Udwor Ongwen. In this book, it's alleged that you betrayed the cause of the struggle for positive change within the university by, among others, university students in the early 80s. And as you know, political socialization becomes more effective at the formative stages in life, especially at the university stage when you are a student. Could it be that you still hold those beliefs that could have informed your taking of contrary position to the popular position then by the university students? Which views could actually impact on your role as a chief advisor, legal advisor to the government, if you are confirmed? Thank you.
Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. I would like to ask the nominee, having been Speaker and now being proposed for the position of Chief Advisor, Legal Advisor to the government, do you believe that a Member of Parliament elected in a party or a coalition should be able to defect from that position without seeking the mandate of the public that voted them in? Is the member's political rights maybe superior to the voter? And the second one is, what is your legal position on the charges that have been dropped against nominees to the CS position this time round by the DPP, and those also that have been proposed to other executive offices? Thank you.
Honorable Muturi, you can answer those questions in succession, then we'll take another round.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I must say that I wasn't quite clear about the question that the Honorable Deputy Speaker asked, because it touched on the case touching on duty.
She said the government has lost very high-profile cases through a perception of inadequate legal services from the Attorney General. Are you going to carry on with the inadequacy, or what are you going to do?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think that's a very important question, in that my personal view is that it is not a right of government to always win cases, but government will win or lose cases depending on how much legal advice the particular entity within which the dispute is located. If it is, say, for instance, the Ministry of Trade or Ministry of Finance, it is important that all those departments, first and foremost, before committing government to anything, must seek legal advice. Of course, once the advice is sought, it may or may not be acted on. But of course, with the attendant risk, when they don't act on on those opinions, that they could easily find themselves on the receiving end. And in a number of cases, in fact, in the majority of cases, government has found itself on the receiving end because the Office of the Attorney General is brought in many of those cases at the tail end. It is not involved at the time when the government was being contracted into some particular activity. And therefore, my personal view about this is, if we have a robust, integrated legal management system, which will sift through all government departments, just like we have IFMIS, it helps the principal legal advisor to government to know at every stage, at the earliest stage, what government is about to, what kind of arrangements or engagements the government is about to engage, to enter into, and advise appropriately. And therefore, I myself, in a proactive way, propose that I would introduce such a system. But of course, all that will only happen when there is sufficient funding to the office of the Attorney General,